Hey guys, it's Lacey. Welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be doing a video on how I became pregnant and a mom at 17 years old. I do get asked a lot how old I was when I had Maya, which is my oldest daughter who is almost 14. So I figured I would do a video on it on this channel. It's just really hard to sit down and do a sit down video 95% of the time. So I'm trying to find time to work on this channel a lot more, and I hope you guys are liking the frequent uploads that I have been doing on this channel. I figured that since I really like doing videos on this channel that I would dedicate more time to it and put more videos on this channel. And like I said, I do get asked a lot how old I was when I became pregnant and had Maya, so that's what this video is going to be about. So if you guys would like to know that story, I guess this will be like a story time video, then just keep watching. Okay, so if you guys did not know, Bernie is Maya's father. He is also the father of ALAYAH, Nina, Bernie, and the baby that I am pregnant with right now. So me and Bernie basically met when we were 16 years old. We were both born and raised in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Well, not raised. We were born in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. And he moved to Houston, Texas. I moved to Florida. So we basically grew up in Texas and in Florida, and around the same time we actually moved back to Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. So by the time we were in high school, when we were 16 years old, we were back in Pittsburgh and in different high schools. There was an alternative high school that both of our schools went to. It was also like a traditional, I forget the word for it, like if you wanted to take an extra class to get like your cosmetology license, your mechanic license, your dental license, things like that, like different courses that you could take. If you wanted to do that and you had all of your credits for your main high school, you could go to that school. I forget what the word is. Pregnancy brain, guys. It's so bad. So anyway, that was like a secondary school, I guess. I don't know, guys. Pregnancy brain is so bad. But you could go there and get an extra education if you wanted to get, like I said, a cosmetology license or whatnot. I started going to that school for cosmetology about halfway through my high school year. I had enough credits. I didn't have to go a full days of high school. So I went to the secondary school. I'm going to call it a secondary school for the second half of the day where I took cosmetology. So I went to cosmetology, and inside of the secondary school there was an alternative school. The alternative school was for kids who had a reason that they could not be in their regular home school high school. If you guys hear Bernie and Nina out there, I'm sorry. They are playing and they are yelling. They're out there with Maya, ALAYAH, and Bernie, but they are just super loud. So if you hear any interruptions, I'm just gonna keep talking through them because they are super loud and can't really tell them to be quiet because they're only 2 and 3. So I'm gonna just keep rolling with the video. So where was I? I completely forget where I was. So we had a homeschool high school and then the secondary school where, like I said, there was an alternative school that you could go to full-time if there was a reason that you couldn't be in your homeschool. And there were also the educational courses where you could get your license for like dental, cosmetology, and things like that. So it was just like a secondary education course. So that was also in this school, and some people went to the alternative school and the educational courses. Some people just went to the educational courses and not the alternative school. It just depended on your situation at that time. So at that time I was just going to the educational course for cosmetology, and Bernie was actually there in the alternative school. I forget his reason as to why he went to the alternative school and not his regular home school, but that was his situation. So he was in the alternative high school all day, and I was there for cosmetology for half of the day. So about halfway through the year, I met Bernie, and I met him through some people that I was friends with, that I met and became friends with in the alternative school classes. It was kind of like the school was all bunched together and everybody knew everybody, regardless of if you were there for alternative school or the other courses. Everyone knew everybody. So eventually, like I said, I met Bernie through people, and I had a car. I was probably one of the only few people that had a car, so everyone always asked me for rides home, and I had a lot of friends throughout my school years. I had a ton. I was friends with everybody, so by the time high school came, that was still the same situation. I had a ton of friends. I talked to everybody, so I was riding people home all the time. They were leaving school with me, and yeah, so I met Bernie through other people. Eventually I started riding him home and we started hanging out, and one thing led to another. A lot of people told me to actually not hang out with him and just, I don't know, they tried to warn me about him. I guess he was like the class clown, and I don't know, a lot of people just warned me about him and said, don't hang out with him, don't, you know, make him your boyfriend and things like that. And I was like, don't worry, I'm not going to. Little did I know, a few months passed and we're still hanging out, and we started talking on the phone and hanging out a lot outside of school, and he would just stay with me after school instead of me dropping him off at home. And eventually he asked me to be his girlfriend, and by then I was pretty close with him because we have hung out for so long, and I grew to like him more than a friend. At first I went into it just, you know, we were just friends, and that was all we would ever be, especially with all these girls telling me, and it was all girls telling me to stay away from him, and he's a player, and you know, just telling me to stay away from him. So I did not have that mindset at all that I would be with him in a relationship ever, until a few months down the road when we just became really close, and that is what happened. So he did ask me to be his girlfriend, and I said yes, and I don't know exactly what month was that. I do have it written down. I think it was April of 2015. I want to say March. No, I think it was March 2015 that he asked me to be his girlfriend, and I said yes. So that's how long we've been together. What is this? November 2018. So we've been together a long time, guys, since March of 2015. No, it wasn't 2015. It was 2005. 2004. Oh my gosh, pregnancy brain. I don't even know what I said. Did I tell you guys the right year? Okay, it was March 2004 because we were 16. My birthday is in June, so I would have turned 17. Bernie's birthday is in May. He turned 17. Maya was born in May of 2005, and I was still 17. So, okay. March of 2004 is when we officially became boyfriend and girlfriend, and we have been together ever since. So that is such a long time, guys. March of 2004. So that is when he asked me to be his girlfriend. I said yes. We hung out all the time, even more than we did before. And you can hear Bernie and Nina, they're so funny. They're playing and they're being super loud. So I found out I was pregnant in September of 2004. September, October, November, December, January, February, March, April, May. Yes, so September 2004 is when I found out I was pregnant, and that was with little Miss Maya. My mom asked me if I was pregnant, and she pretty much knew before I did. How? I have no idea. Motherly instinct, I don't know. But she asked me before I knew, and I was like, no, what do you mean? What are you talking about? I'm not pregnant. And she was like, are you sure? And I'm like, I'm pretty sure I'm not pregnant. And a couple weeks roll by, and then I go talk to her and tell her that I found out I was pregnant. When I found out I was pregnant, let's go back a little bit. When I found out I was pregnant, I had probably like 10 people at my house, 10 friends, and I told them, like I told you guys, I was friends with so many people, and I always had people over my house. My house was like the hangout place. My mom didn't care. A lot of people were just always at my house. We all hung out at my house. Everyone loved my mom, so I always had people there. Anyways, there were like 10 people at my house at the time, and my mom was not there. So I decided to tell them that I think I might be pregnant. They were all pretty good friends. They told me that I should go get a pregnancy test. So me and my cousin was there as well. Me and her went to the store, and everyone left, and they said to tell them when we get back home so they could come back over. Everyone wanted to know if I was pregnant or not. So we went to the store, got the pregnancy test, and I went home. I called everybody back over. They all came back over, and they were like, did you take it yet? I was like, no, I didn't take it yet. I was super nervous. And I went upstairs to the bathroom and I took the test. So I come back downstairs and I tell them like, oh my gosh, I took the test. It's upstairs waiting. I'm freaking out. And they were like, well, go look at it. Go look at it. I was like, you have to wait a few minutes. So I waited a few minutes, and they were like, come on, go, go, go. They were like rushing me to see if I was pregnant. Everyone wanted to know because it was a big deal, obviously, a huge deal. And I was just super scared. And my mom had already asked me if I was pregnant, and I told her no, because I didn't believe I was at the time. And yeah, so I went back upstairs to look at the test, and sure enough, there were 2 pink lines. One was lighter than the other, and I read the instructions, and it said that one line could be lighter than the other and you could still be pregnant. So my cousin was with me when we read the results. Everyone else was downstairs, and she's like, oh my gosh, you're pregnant, oh my gosh. And yes, I was pregnant. And I was so blown away. I couldn't believe that my mom asked me if I was pregnant and she knew before I did. That really blew my mind. She has those instincts, and I have those instincts now that I'm older, and I have had them many, many times. I get them from her. But she was completely right. I was pregnant, and I went downstairs. I took the test. I showed everybody, and everyone's like, oh my gosh, oh my gosh. Like, I know. I couldn't believe I was pregnant. Yes, so I found out I was pregnant at 17 years old with Maya. And it was pretty scary at first, but there was nothing that I could do. I mean, there was something that I could do, but I didn't want to go that route or go that route. So I didn't. And I'm glad I didn't. And yeah, I just can't believe that I was pregnant at 17. It wasn't very common to be pregnant at 17 when I was pregnant at 17 like it is now. Hi, baby.
Hi.
Hi. So like I was saying, it was not very common to be pregnant as a teenager back when I found out that I was going to be a teen mom. So everyone was kind of freaking out over it, and it was scary, but I knew I could do it. I had graduated school, and I actually did not finish cosmetology school because I just realized that I didn't like touching people like you have to do in cosmetology. Like, you have to do hair and makeup and facials and things like that, and I just don't like touching people. So if I wanted to finish, I would. And later on down the road, I did get my associate's degree for a medical assistant specialist, and that is what I have my degree in right now. So it's very possible to be a teen mom and go back to school and graduate college and get a degree in education and follow your paths, follow your dreams, accomplish your goals, and become your dream career or whatever you want to be when you get older. So having Maya at such a young age did not prevent me from doing any of that. But let's back up a little bit because I got off track a little bit. So after I found out I was pregnant and everyone went home that night. I told my mom the next day, I believe it was, and she said, I knew it. I knew you were pregnant. What are you gonna do? What do you wanna do? And I was like, I am going to be a mom. I'm going to keep my baby. Could never have an abortion. I just couldn't. I knew that I wanted to be a mom and have 5 kids since I was really young, since way before I found out I was pregnant. I always wanted to be a mom and have 5 kids, and I'm pregnant with my 5th baby now. So, and I'm a mom. But I told my mom I was pregnant, like I said. I dealt with it, she dealt with it, and now Maya is her Maya baby, she calls her. She loves her so much. Once I had Maya, everything was different. It's different from when you find out you're gonna be a teen mom, and it's different throughout the pregnancy when you are a pregnant teen. When you have the baby, everything changes, everyone's feelings change. My mom became happy throughout my pregnancy, and she couldn't wait to meet her first grandchild. My mom was a grandmother at 35 years old, I believe, 34. My mom also had me at a young age, so she was a young grandmother as well. I told Bernie that I was pregnant, and there was nothing that we could really do about it. So he accepted it, and he was a father at 17. I was a mom at 17, a teen mom. We were both teen parents at 17 years old. And that's pretty much the story. She is now almost 14 years old. And I mean, being a teen mom is hard. Balancing work. I did already graduate high school. I don't know if I threw that in there, but I did graduate high school. Yeah, I went on later to be a medical assistant specialist, graduated college. She did not put a damper in my life at all. I am very happy that I had her, and she probably kept me out of trouble because I was young and I didn't really experience too much. I was a really good kid. I got good grades. Who knows what would have happened if I didn't have her. I could have went a different path and gotten into trouble like a lot of people that I used to hang out with did. Unfortunately, that could have been me, but Maya kept me, Nina's crawling on the bed. Maya kept me in check as a mom, and I was able to be a good mom to her and a good person and never get in trouble.
A book.
You have a book?
Yeah. Gosh.
So that's pretty much my story of how I got pregnant at 17 and became a mom. I'm trying to think if I missed anything, but I don't think I did. That's basically the gist of it, and it's rare that teen parents stay together. I know that it is, but me and Bernie have been together, like, mind-blowing. Like I said before, we've been together since March 2004. That doesn't even sound right. It's just been so long. It's 2004, not 2014, but 2004, and it's 2018 now. And we're having our 5th baby in just less than 3 weeks. So if you guys enjoyed this video and would like to see more story time videos, if you guys have any questions, I could tell you guys through story times, or I could do a Q&A. Anything that you guys want to see, comment down below. Make sure you guys subscribe if you're new, and I will see you guys on my next video. Thank you so much for watching. Bye!